Hello viewers, I'm Red2006 and I'm very pleased to have you join me on the latest leg of our scenic tour through the Johto region in Pokemon Gold version. As a quick recap on our last day's adventuring,
I wrapped up the cultural tour of Ecruteak City with a trip to the dance theatre, battling the 5 evolutions found there. After that, I headed on to the Ecruteak City gym, and despite dealing with some very spiteful ghost types, Morty went down pretty easily and we earned ourselves a new badge. We're going exploring with Surf today.
Welcome back everyone. We are in Violet City once again. There is a hidden item, assuming we don't get interrupted. Hopefully he has a stronger team. Off to a flying stop there. Anyway, there is an item across this pond near the gym. Get a lovely red Lapras sprite and run into a Pokemon. It's Poliwhirl. I knew you could find Poliwag. Okay, better get Ruby out of there. Who's our best bet? Probably Dash at the moment. So, from the last episode, you will see that Dash knows Shadow Ball. And is getting slapped for his trouble. Poor guy. Well, let's see what we can do. More Great Balls in stock. And we got it! Nicely done! Poliwhirl, the tadpole Pokemon. The swirl on its belly subtly undulates. Staring at it may gradually cause drowsiness. That swirl is actually their intestines. I know it sounds gross, but real-life tadpoles actually are like that. So we've got a PP up here. Very handy. Cross the lake and we can head back and go to Dark Cave. Been a while since we were there. It's high time we explored it. I don't have any repels on me because there is a Pokemon I want to show you. Last time we were here, we were being an amateur postman. Not much has changed. Still looks as good as ever. But head on in to Dark Cave. I have Bellsprout with me this time. The item in here is a potion and the wild Pokemon are level 2. Well, 2 to 4 anyway. Maneuver around here and you can use Surf to bypass a Rock Smash Rock. Gonna be a lot of interruptions. I'm already regretting not bringing repels, but what can you do? So if all these crappy wild Pokemon insist on interrupting, they can at least have the good grace to be shiny. Anyway, head up here. Through here you can access part of the Blackthorn City side. There's a wild Pokemon I want to find, so I'm going to be searching. Of course, when I want to find one, well, this isn't what I wanted to find, but it's a Pokemon we can catch anyway. It took me a little while longer to get here than I wanted it to. I've waded through the world's biggest Zubat and Geodude convention. Basically, I've just got a big Zubat. This is an ideal Pokemon on which to use your friend ball. Okay, Shadow Ball is a little weaker. Nicely done. Should be an easy catch. Really now? You'd think I'd have learned. You'd honestly think I'd have learned by this point. Nope, we just plough blithely on. We say stupid things and we tempt fate. Okay, that's very uncooperative for a Golbat. I mean, like, it's just an advanced form of the flunky used by flunkies. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Really? It's Ditto all over again. This is why Dust Balls are awesome. I'm not going to have anything left for the Pokemon I actually want to catch. You cannot be serious. Same thing every time. Is this rigged or something? Okay, I know I say stupid things that are essentially tempting fate, but this is getting stupid. Thank you. Golbat, the bat Pokemon. However hard its victim's hide may be, it punches with sharp fangs and gorges itself with blood. Well, admittedly, Golbat's going to die if it winds up biting me because my blood has a very, very high salt content right now. So, cut again to the Pokemon I want to show off. Thank you! Took long enough, 15% chance of appearing my rear end. Anyway, this is the Pokemon I wanted to put in the spotlight for today, the infamous Wobbuffet.
In its debut generation, Wobbuffet wasn't really that great. It was kind of difficult to find, and you really had to predict what your opponent was going to do, which kind of made it difficult. You could sort of pick based on the type of the opponent, but then again it wasn't always dependable, as they could simply switch out or change their strategies. It went from nobody to nightmare when Generation 3 rolled around, gaining Shadow Tag and Encore from its pre-evolution Wynaut to force the opponent into the same move over and over again. Wobbuffet could dominate battles. Shadow Tag was actually modified to stop endless Wobbuffet versus Wobbuffet battles, since neither of them could actually damage the opponent and leftovers would just heal them. Most people will probably know Wobbuffet from its appearances in the anime where Jessie managed to get hold of one through a bit of bad luck in a trade. If used correctly, Wobbuffet is still very dangerous, but it thrives in single battles. It's not as effective in double battles, since its opponents can pick off Wobbuffet's partner, but it can still fare pretty well in battle if you know what you're doing.
And of course, when it comes to catching it, we're probably losing a team member. Worth noting, you can find Graveler in the Blackthorn side of Dark Cave, but you know what that's like. So... now comes the difficult part, actually getting it to stay in the Pokeball. Wobbuffet can't do anything if you don't attack it, or at least damage it. Destiny Bolt. So I should probably switch to Torture and just do a little chip damage. Yeah, torture. Okay, just quick attack should do. And there we go. That is Wobbuffet's gimmick. So, I only have 2 Great Balls thanks to that stupid Golbat. Oh no, don't do this to me. Last one. Please work. I'll come back for that. So, you know what? I'm scrapping having Sunkern on my team. I'm using Execute because I want a Pokemon with Hypnosis so I can actually catch things. And there it is, Magikarp. Right. You want to know what I'm going to find? Another wild Pokemon. Another Geodude. So, as I was trying to say, you can sometimes find Pokemon under rocks you can Rock Smash. You can find Crabby, and if you're in Dark Cave, there is another Pokemon you can find. Is it going to be? Yes, it is. Just to rub it in. You can find Shuck. Very defensive, terrible HP, terrible attack, terrible speed. Bit of a gimmick, but can be fun to use. That is a kick in the nuts. I will come back and get those at some point. There are items you can find in this area. Oh, come on, that's just mean. That's evil. That's like saying, hey, screw you. You want to catch these rare Pokemon that are kind of hard to find? You should have brought more Great Balls. And I'm out of space in my backpack. Let's just give this to Torture. Elixirs are useful to have. Random Potion, use it on Dash. And I will probably have to store or sell some things. This... wow, just... wow. I mean... one moment of hubris against a Golbat, everything just falls apart. It's spectacular. Look, I'm prepared to admit that usually my luck is not the greatest. I'm the guy who rolls ones all the time in Mario Party when any other result would get him the start. I'm the guy who manages to just scrape into first after a hard battle in Mario Kart and has the blue shell change target to him midway through. Stuff like that. I am never that unlucky though. It's like usually stuff I can laugh about. Just the sort of fun you can eventually have a giggle about despite the chaos. That... I'm unlucky sometimes, but I'm usually not that unlucky. I mean, if this is a third Shuckle, it's Crabby, which is much easier to fight. Right, there are trainers I can battle on Route 46. You get here from Blackthorn City otherwise. A couple of paths you can take. So what I'm going to do is show off the battles, but I will wrap things up as far as commentary goes. I think they're just apricots. Head down there to battle a guy with 5 Geodudes. I'm going to beat him off camera because it's a bit boring. And I've just jumped straight into a battle. He's pretty enthusiastic. However, he's also at a much lower level than us. Don't think we've seen Mankey very often. Can't wait till I get Earthquake. Just for that consistent damage. And another phone call. At least I can stop off and get some money at home. So, one more opponent here and die a hit, which I don't need because I just sell it, I guess. Alright, so our last opponent, you can get her number for rematches, and she has 2 Ponyta. Ponyta, you're a cool Pokemon, you have some great stats, and I am genuinely sorry you had to run into me when I'm in such a bad mood. Well, this should just about do it for Ruby for a while. She is in a pretty good position. And there we go. Level 28. Pretty good job. Well, actually, what I'll do before I wrap things up, since I do want to head home, is deposit some items into PC, and then go and talk to Professor L. We still have to give him Togepi. Don't get much from it, but it's worth doing nonetheless. So I'll cut back to home. So here we are, heading home at last. I was going to say I'd cut there, but I sneezed halfway through. Things are not going well. Head back in here and speak to Professor L. And we get a little bit of discourse about Pokemon hatching from eggs. And we get a somewhat crummy Everstone. And I forgot to go and sell items. Well, that just about wraps things up. That really shows how well things have been going for this particular episode. Don't know what was going on. We were on a high when we beat Morty. Things went pretty smoothly in the Burnt Tower, and then it just all fell apart. I blame that stupid Golbat. One moment of hubris, and the entire episode crumbles. I'm just going to have to learn not to tempt fate, because the gods of the Pokemon world are obviously incredibly malicious. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next installment of our scenic tour through the Johto region, where we will be heading back to Union Cave.